All this filament, an empty Artemis printer, let's print something. It's Filament Friday. Filament Friday is brought to you every week by the generous donations of these Patreon supporters, and they get special access to CHEPclub.com. So join us. In a previous video, I asked for comments on what I should print on an empty printer, and the most common one I got was I should print my chess pawn. Really big. Now this is actually enlarged from the original size, but I sized it up 1,000%, and that's what's printing here. So while this is printing, let me show you a very useful print I did in Tinkercad for my French door room. So while the Artemis is printing, let me show you a quick fix that I did this week. We have this French door room. It used to be my office and I was too messy. I got kicked out and my wife turned it into a really nice sitting room. The problem is when we leave, the dogs can push these doors open and they get in there, jump on the furniture, looking out the windows, and we come back to a mess. So to temporarily lock these doors, I made this 3D print. Just close the doors, it snaps on one side and pushes down on the other, and now you can't open them. The dogs will push and it won't budge. I'll show you how I made this real quick in Tinkercad, and then we'll get back to the Artemis print. I won't show you all the steps because this is a very simple print. I got 2 hooks on each side. I'll ungroup it. You can see I got a block between them and 2 little tabs to hold it down on the one side. I made the hooks just with a cylinder and another cylinder to cut out, and on a block to cut it out straight. And then I grouped that together. 2 hooks, a block. You got it. It's simple. Now let's see how the Artemis is doing. It's definitely making progress. This is some time-lapse. So now we'll go back and we'll slice the hook. So in Simplify 3D, I use my Creality CR-10 Mini. I love this printer. I set it to 100% fill, 0.16 layer height, which really prints good on this. Temperature 60 degrees on the bed, 205 degrees for the hot end, 60 millimeters per second. I sliced it. It said it would take 2 hours and 46 minutes. Meanwhile, the Artemis kept printing away. This is definitely looking like a chess pawn. Back to my CR10 Mini. This printer gets used all the time. I've got several of them. It's really become my favorite printer. A little bit of glue on glass. This thing prints great, and it's under 300 bucks. There's a link in the description below if you want to get one yourself. This print came out nice and smooth. Feels good. Now I need to test it on the door handle. So from underneath, I just snapped it in place, slid it over to the other handle. Perfect. Now this is a temporary fix. I'll get some nice fixture to lock this thing in the future, but for right now, this is perfect. It was pretty late by that time, and I just let the Artemis go overnight. I time-lapsed it, and when I woke up in the morning, it was done. So here's the finish of the time-lapse, and here's the finished print that I woke up to. I use this red all the time. I love the color. It's really a pure red, and it's what sold me on this Filament Friday filament in the first place. So there it is, all finished, and it looks really good. Although it's at a 0.3 layer height, it looks pretty smooth. The only thing I don't like is it's got these repeating circular lines to it, and the ball has some little circles to it. So I don't know what that is, if that's related to the slicing or if that's related to the machine. I'm not sure. But overall, this thing is huge. This is 1,000%. Just for perspective, here's that original. That's actually 200%. And then here's the original size pawn. So original, 1,000%. So that was a lot of fun. Let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see printed on this big Artemis printer. With Filament Friday filament, of course. If you like this, maybe check out some of the other videos that are popping up. I got a lot more useful prints out there. And if you want to help support the channel, $1 a month or more to CHEP Club via Patreon gets you extra access to CHEPclub.com. And if nothing else, click on that CHEP logo and subscribe. That's it for this week. I'll see you next time right here at Filament Friday.